Hey, what up, Lottery family? It's me, Will, coming to you live. It's Tuesday, January 4th, 11:56 a.m. Family, I thought I'd put together another quick video to show you the power of times drawn and just a couple other tidbits I think you should take focus on. So, family, let me start out by saying again, it's a new year. Everything starts anew. I love the energy of the new year because what the new year means is everything that we did the last year, we just know better. We're not going to do anymore. So, regarding this lottery thing, I have two, I guess, mental shifts I want to talk about. The first one is having a deficiency mindset, and then tie into how what that means with the lottery family. So I think I said this on the last call, but to win in anything regarding getting something, like having something returned to you, mentally, you can't have a deficiency mindset. You can't be needy. What are you talking about? I'm saying you so when you started talking to people about how the universe works, how spirituality works, how God works, you get a lot of people who they use God's name, they like to use the universe's name, but they always do it in such that it's like, God, give me something. Like their hand is already ways out. It's like, God, give me something. Like I need you to bless me, Lord. And I have not found that it works like that. So I just want to put that out there. It does not work like that, family. So if you're playing with the lottery every day, if you're trying to, I don't know, whatever it is, you know how it is. So if any of my subscribers, are very attractive people, like pretty women, if you know you're a very attractive woman and a dude rolled up on you, even if he looked, halfway decent, and he's like, "Yo, baby, you need to get with me. You need to get with me." You know that naturally just turns you off. That would turn anybody off. I'm not receptive to anything like that, needy anyway. I mean, I told you that only works for kids. And, once you start getting a little older, you see that's not even real. So I wanted to put that out there. You cannot expect to win or have things drawn to you if you're needy. You have to be able to look at or send out to the universe this vibe like, universe, God, the spirit, hey, I recognize that I'm not where I want to be, but I'm going to be cool. I'm going to approach this cool. And when you approach people in a cool way, you'll see that they're more apt to help you. So I really want to underscore that. If we're in a new year and we're talking about having abundance and we're talking about not doing things the way we did it last year, kill that needy vibe. People get on Facebook and like, yo, I need a hit right now. Kill that. It does not work like that. I've never seen it work like that. I've never seen someone just say, I need some. That sounds a little crackish. Stop that, family, for real. Stop that. Instead, calm yourself, get to where you are like cool, like mentally, your whole spirit is cool, then approach whatever you want to get by what you're going to give. Let me say that again. Here's another theme I want to share. Giving and getting are really part of the same family, right? They complement each other. Like some people like to say, somebody stole something from me or I lost something. I think that's a negative connotation to have because in reality, we none of us own anything. We didn't create this planet. We didn't create the resources on this planet. So whether you get something or you receive something, it's really just how well you're skilled at enticing, or how can I put it, persuading, not needy, right? Not badgering somebody to death, but persuading that other thing or entity to transfer a bit of their resource to you. So when I like to tell people, like, if I lost something, man, I don't here, let me explain another thing too, because I think this also helped. And I think I said this before. I remember being in Vegas, in Las Vegas, and I had a couple of dollars in my pocket, right? I had maybe, I don't know, a couple of hundred or a couple of tens or whatever. Maybe it was a couple of tens or whatever. And anyway, the way it was positioned in my pocket, like one of the denominations fell out. And I remember looking at it on the ground. It was a $10 bill. And I looked down and I was like, oh, oh, damn, I lost $10. And I was starting to trip. And then something stopped me. And I said, well, wait a minute. $10? You tripping on $10? Like, I really had to think about that. This was the mental shift. I was like, you tripping on $10, fam? Like, that's as much as as much as you do, you tripping on $10. Now, mind you, I had probably a couple of hundred, but my point is, you are never gonna move to that next level if you tripping on something at that $10 level. So if you talking about making hundreds of dollars, and you have to ask yourself this, family. Again, I'm talking about mindset. If you have to if you saying that you want to make hundreds of dollars, you can't be tripping on $10. It's a shift. So if you tripping on $1, fam, what you gonna do with $10? So you should be like, if I lost $1, look at it as $1 just went out into the universe to help somebody, because that's really all it's doing. You don't we ain't taking none of this with us. If you lose a dollar, I lose dollars all the time, man. I may play some dollars on Lotto. I may give some dollars to somebody, even if I just took $100 in my pocket and just threw it up. I remember I was. This is kind of interesting. I remember I was in Atlanta, and I was at this club. I forget which rapper was there, but this dude had like 100. He had like a couple of. He had maybe like $100 in ones, and he just threw it up in the air. Man, you should have saw everybody. Like, it was some females, it was some dudes too who jumped down on the ground like, oh, yo, let me get these dollars. It had no shame either. It was like, yo, let me get these dollars. And I was like, come on, man. You ain't gonna see me on no ground trying to scrounge up like $100. And some people like that. I challenge you to even ask yourself, would you be that same person on the ground trying to scramble up ones, maybe get $50 worth, or would you be cool and be like, yo, I know the universe got me. I don't have to do that. I'm telling you, fam, that mental shift when you say that you got money like that. Yes, sir. Sorry, y'all. I have my young son come down. But fam, here's what I'm trying to say. You cannot look at that denomination level like it's above you. If it is, then you have to figure out, how do I mentally shift up? Now, that's not saying that you even got funds like that in your bank account currently, because again, I go back to, none of us started with a silver spoon or a gold spoon. I know I didn't. So I'll share another story with y'all. I remember, this is back in Miami too. My situation was mad tight, man. I was working a gig, making $10 an hour, and I think I worked that gig for 2 years, man. 2 years too long. And this is even like prior service, man. I was just like lost a little bit, man. Just trying to find my way. So I ended up quitting that job because they were going to fire me anyway, because I knew I wasn't making enough money, right? And I even had my situation was just, it wasn't strong at all, fam. It was just like, I was just going through it. So I quit this $10 an hour job, and I basically had no money coming in. I don't even think that. I mean, if you're making $10 an hour, man, you can't make any money anyway. So I don't even think I wasn't borrowing money from anybody. I just had no money. I had no savings. Sure, my credit was whack. I'm laying all this out to show y'all I had real humble beginnings and how I got to the next level. And as sure as I'm here with probably 1,000 times where I was back then, it was the mental shift that made me go forward. And I'll tell you exactly what happened. So I quit this job and then I went to go apply for this other gig. And this was probably like a couple of days later after I quit. And this woman told me, hey, well, the only thing we're going to be able to offer you is $7.50. Now, let me frame this. We talking about mindset, family. I was just making $10 an hour and I quit. And I had no money coming in, no family, yo, hey, here, well, you can go, I'm going to tide you over with that. None of that. None of that. Living in Miami. And y'all know Miami is not a cheap town. Like you either got flow or you don't. And I remember her, this was a couple of days later, no money, saying, I'm going to offer you $7.50. And in my mind, I said, man, here's this first thought. It was like, yo, having some money coming in is better than no money coming in. That was my first thought. And then I said, no. And I think it took me all of maybe 30 seconds to go through this mental play. And I was like, man, I just got through making $10.50, putting all $10 an hour, putting all my energy into this joint, struggling. And here's somebody about to offer me $2.50 less than that. I said, ma'am, and I did it with all the dignity that I had. I didn't curse. I didn't was like, you got to be out of your monkey. I didn't do any of that. I said, ma'am, I cannot accept that. And once I did that, family, I'll tell y'all this story later, but my whole world changed. Once I did that, my whole world changed. I'm going to fast forward a couple of months later. I got another gig. Well, after that conversation with her, I found this other gig, maybe like a week or two later, and I was making $11 an hour. Whoopee! I was making going from $10 an hour to now I'm making $11 an hour. That same mindset. Yo, I just can't be out here, doing whatever, right? So I was making $11 an hour. I remember I was working at night. And then this same lady had called me back maybe a month or two later. And she was like, yo, Will, I love the conversation that we had. There's an opportunity, because you were on my mind, there's an opportunity, I want you to consider, but it's in Tampa. It's in Tampa, Florida. And I had never really been through Tampa like that. But I said, well, look, I can't go leave, Miami for anything more than 15. So she was like, yo, let me check with, my management, my leadership, and we'll see. So, maybe like a day later, she came back. She was like, bet $15 an hour. So family, I'm going to try to make this part of the conversation short, but it's the mental shift with money that you got to get down so you can go to that next level. Money, like anything else, is what you attract. It's not being needy. Short story, fam. I went from $10 an hour to $11 an hour to $15 an hour to $22 an hour, all the way to $35 an hour in less than a year. And I didn't have any more education. I didn't do any more. Well, I trained under, a couple of things, but I was like on the job training. But my point is, the mental shift of where I wanted to be with money was here. It was here. And that's with everything, even this lotto game. So let me get into the lotto game real quick. Just take a couple minutes and show y'all something. So family, Let's talk about times drawn. This time I'm going to use uh, North Carolina for my North Carolina family. Um, Family, I'm gonna show you. We're gonna look at October, and the reason I'm looking at October is because I'm gonna walk you through progressively to show you exactly what's happening and why one you should be cool with this money, and then look at this data because I'm telling you it happens every month. If you pay attention to it, I promise you, you'll calm yourself. You won't be like chasing money like crazy. All right, so I'm back, family. I wanted to look at October to show you progressively exactly what's happening with times drawn. So I peeped times drawn for October for North Carolina pick four, and I'm going to tell you why this is so powerful because you can drill down on these numbers to where you're talking about one or two numbers, then you just blow it up, fam. It's there. Once I show you this, you're going to see it happens for all states, but all states per their data. So here's what I found out. So North Carolina, when I do times drawn, just doing the shift like that, I see their top times drawn is 36. So immediately I know the data isn't the same. What do I mean by that? I know, for example, Florida for pick four is all the way into the 50s, right? North Carolina is in like their top number is 36. So that tells me that they haven't been running pick four for a long time. So people who be like, yo, these numbers is for all states, that's bullshit. The data for North Carolina is not the same data for Florida. So you can't like just say this is going to work for Florida and it's going to work for North Carolina. It's two different data profiles. So, in keeping with the data profile for North Carolina pick four, let me show you exactly what's happening. So, I'm going to sort this from high to low. This again is October. And you'll see these numbers start to cluster right around 30 and 29. You see that? 30 and 29, where you got most of your hits from October is in this 30, 29 tier. Now, you this 29 and this 30, I know it's sitting out here like, hey, this is just a number, I shouldn't really be concerned with it, but really you should because it's telling you 29 times these numbers came out. And also what it means is 30 times these numbers came out. But it also shows you before this got to 30, right? Before these got to 30, these were at 29. Does that make sense? Before this number 0238 was at the number of times drawn was 30, that means it had to be in here at 29. So you see all this clustering, right? You see all this clustering. And I put that in here purposely just so you could see it. You see all this clustering. You don't see any other cluster but just these numbers, right? So why is that important? I'm going to show you in a minute. When you first got this cluster right here with I'm going to go back and do all and just show you how this joint panned out, right? And do times drawn again. Just if you sort it high to low and you look for this cluster here, you see, okay, well, 10, 10's drawn. That's cool, right? But there's a ton of numbers in there. I don't want that one. And also mentally, I'm not chasing numbers just to be chasing them. Also, when I look at 12, there's a lot in there. I don't really want that. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but look at all these other numbers that I have to contend with, right? Look at all these numbers that are in here. For that 10, that's 55 numbers. I don't want to deal with those numbers to bet. So even though I see like, it was popping right here, that's still too many. So, again, I'm looking at this from intelligence. I'm like, man, I don't want to play those many numbers. What grouping can I find that has a really, really low count. And I look and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Here's this 2930 joint, right? 2930 joint right here. There it is right there. 2930. Let me put it back on times drawn. I don't know why my laptop is acting crazy. But if I put it right back here, 2930, bam, there you go, right there. Right? So if I'm looking at this, right, as a data professional, as a data scientist, and I'm just observing, I'm gonna ask myself, okay, 2930, number one, is closer to that lower tier where you get a small grouping of numbers, right? That's only 7 numbers right here. You see that, fam? That's only 7 numbers that I have to deal with, and 4 of them came out already, right? So if I highlight this joint, right, I'm going to take all 4 of these numbers, right, and I'm gonna do a quick scan, and I'm going to see which one of these numbers came first. Was it 8756 or 3082? And I'm going to look up here, right? Because I want to catch this joint as soon as it comes out. So 8756, where is that joint? Right there. 8756. That's where that 2930 started to happen. And then when I look at 3486, I see that joint right there. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm waiting. Remind you, I'm not chasing numbers. I'm just doing what the data says, right? I'm not chasing numbers. So if I wanted to, right, I could have just taken everything right here, right? This whole data set. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna put it in here. I got that whole data set, and I'm just gonna sort it just to show you how it came out. So look at this, fam. Look at this. So on the 9th of October, 8756 came out, right? And then on the 15th of October, 3082 came out. But look at the next draw, family, 3486. That came out right after the 3082. That may be turned around, but even if it is, you see it. This 3082 came out right next to 3486. So who's going to be smarter about data and playing data? And this is pick 4. So if I got 7 numbers right here, family, I've already excluded 2 of them right here. So it's really 5. And the way times is drawn tells me, I know one of these other numbers is going to come out. I would, man, I would bet crazy like that. I would at least do a combo on that. That's 5 bands, fam. Let me show you. Let me show you November. This is North Carolina. I want y'all to keep this in mind. This is how like data people look at data, and they're like, oh, okay, let me see what's happening. Again, all of these numbers up here, the zeros, I'm not concerned about these. These don't ever come out anyway. This 2 up here, this times drawn is 2. Like, okay, that probably would have been a play, but there's still a lot of numbers that I have to contend with. What I'm interested in are these numbers close to this lower band down here. Oh, snap, here we go again. It's November, and look at all the numbers that I'm talking about now. Just these joints right here. How many numbers is that? Whoa, look at that. I only got 6 numbers, right? When did 4986, 27985, and 4932 and 653 come out? Let's see. When was the first one? Because we dealing with that lower band of numbers. 4986 came out right there. Bam. 4986 came out. Let's see what 4932 when that came out. Oh, wait a minute. It must have come out a little bit later because it's not right here. Let's see when 6543 came out. Oh, snap. Let's look at that. So right here, right? I'm gonna take this list, just like I did the last joint, right? And I'm gonna like just take a snapshot of it, right? I'm gonna put it in here for manual input. I'm gonna analyze it, right? This is why I'm talking about y'all look at the data and see what's happening. Okay, okay, so check this. So on the 7th, right? 4689 came out. Then the next day, 3534556 came out. So again, you had a play right there. Bam, bam. You got $5,000 in your pocket because you're looking at that lower band of numbers. The first time it came out in times drawn, you're looking at that lower band of numbers and you just snagging that small sliver of data. Boom, and you got the win the next day. I'm gonna put it back there because it looks like 6543 came out, 4986 came out. It was close by. I think it was right here, these two joints. Bam. All because you're looking at times drawn. And then last but not least, right? I'm gonna show you that joint with last month, just to show y'all this is what I allude to. I'm not, y'all, this is like new for a lot of people, so I'm not trying to like call anything out about. I'm just saying the data is going to lead you to more of the riches. So again, we're ignoring all of this upper band stuff. Why? Because it's too many numbers that I gotta choose from. Plus, these come out very rarely anyway. But if I go down to this lower band, oh snap, there we go again. Let me just select, these joints right here. Select this joint right here, right? How many numbers are we talking? We talking 8. If I wanted to, I could even grab this 27 right here, right? I can grab this 27, maybe just get this whole list, but y'all see exactly what I'm talking about, right? I'm just going to stay within these 30s because the data is showing me that this joint is going to come out, right? Going to select that. Again, we're in December this time. Put that joint in there. Now I'm just going to slowly look at December. Wow. Look at that. Now this one is a little different. It's a little spaced out, but here's what it's telling me. On the 18th, if I just played this joint, it looks like the 18th there were two 275s that came out. You had this 79275 come out and this 97275 came out. But again, this was my list right here, family. This was my list right here. If I had just stayed with this list, sometimes I exclude the number, but even if you did or you didn't, you still would have had the hit, fam. You still would have had the hit right there. Let me show you. Let me show you Florida just for good measure, just to show y'all. This happens every time. I'm gonna stay with pick 4, and I'm gonna talk about just Florida. This is just Florida. Right now, remember, Florida is a little different because Florida has more pick games. But if I go all the way down here, you guys will see it. Here, I'm just going to do anything greater than or equal to 49, and you'll see it. Look at the numbers that I have to deal with, family. Y'all see that? Look at how many numbers that is. I could pick all of these numbers right here. And all I'm waiting on is for one of these entries to pop in, like any one of these. Look, that's 17 numbers. And really, I could probably take off 2 of these joints because, that's not where it first started. So look, that's 15 numbers, right? So if I took all of this is Florida, right? We waiting on it. We just waiting until we get something in this lower band, right? and I put in 12, 2021, 12 again that we do in Florida. Look at this. Look at this. So not only, oh wait. Wow, my joint didn't go all the way. Here, let me make sure I put it in there. Should be, I think that was it. Yeah. Wait. Something's not right. Yeah, this is from North Carolina. Hold on, family. Let me get that data back. That was from North Carolina. That was from North Carolina. Let me put this back. I'm going to grab everything that's greater than or equal to 49. So it's this joint, this joint, this joint, this joint, this joint, this joint. Right. So I'm on the lookout. This is the data I want. I'm on the lookout. So as soon as that first number in this pops, right, I'm already like, oh man, let me just get that joint and just focus on that because I'm trying to put 10 bands in my pocket, man. Nobody else is looking at this data like Will told me. So man, that means I got an advantage because the same thing happened every month. All right. So this is the data, fam. So the first time, so check this. This is what's so powerful. The first time anything in that 49 to 50 range, again, it's that small band where you know those numbers are going to cluster. 3872 came out. Okay, dang. All right, so now I got a list of 15 numbers. I think it was. I think that's what that count was. It was a list of 15 numbers. I think it's gonna give me something else right here. Let me see if this goes right. Nah, that's not how I want that. But here's where I'm going at with this, fam. I have a list of 15 numbers. I know 3872 came out, so automatically I'm on the lookout. All right, what's going to be the next play? That 0379 was right there, that 50 some odd range. Now that passed, but then it came right back with 5240, and look, the next day 7406, the next day after that 2507, all within that same band. Now it sort of skipped here from 2000 from 1209 to 1218, but then it brought it right back. There's the 0379 right here, then there's the 0159, and then there's a 1279. Look at that, family. Just a small group of numbers from looking at times drawn. That's what I'm trying to explain. Hopefully y'all get that. We're looking at where are we going to get our smallest group of numbers, and like when we know we got our small group of numbers because we see what the data is doing every month, we're just going to blow it up, fam. It's better. This is a better strategy for pick four. Pick three, we know four-way stop is strong, but times drawn is also strong in pick three. But pick four, definitely, family. Peace.